Welcome back to Insights into Northeast Michigan. Let's continue our chat with State Representative Sue Allor.
If you are reelected into office, what is one of the first issues you want to tackle?
Well, currently I'm serving on the appropriations, and I'm hoping that I stay on appropriations. That's a little bit different from the policy committees. So the committees that I'm on are DHHS. I serve as vice chair on that. I'm also chair of natural resources. And then there's several other committees, including school aid. So I guess a big priority would be to stay on those committees. It's involved in the budgeting process. And I think that there's so many areas within DHHS or within school aid that I could definitely have an impact when we're looking at funding to go out to various programs that each school has, or programs that are within the DHHS.
Why should people give you their vote? What makes you different from your opponent?
Back in, I guess, 2015, 2016, when I was weighing out whether or not to run for this position, I had to ask myself that same question. What was it that I thought I could, help out with as a representative? And when I look back at my life experiences, being a mom, being a grandma, having experience with educational systems through them, knowing what it's like for them to have peer pressure placed on them, also dealing with elderly parents, taking care of them in their final years. So those life experiences definitely impact people and give you a different outlook on situations. My degree in nursing also comes into play from a health aspect. On top of that, I was a county commissioner for 3 terms, so a total of 6 years. And in that role, I was able to serve on a variety of boards. The District Health Board, which includes Alpena, along with Community Mental Health, millage appropriation, several others. So that gave me a lot of insight as to what happens at county and local level and how the state of Michigan has an impact on us here at home.
Laura, first off, I want you just to tell me a little bit about yourself and what do you like to do for fun?
Well, I'm an attorney, so I work a lot of long hours. I have my own office. Fun is limited because of my time at work, but generally speaking, my first thing I like to do is spend time with my friends and family. I have a book club that I belong to and a group of dominoes players that we get together every now and then. So those are some of the fun things I like to do. I also love our water. So I love to swim and be a part of nature, so I get out when I can and do that. And I'm a bit of a rock hound, so I'm not a full-fledged one, but when I can, I'm out picking rocks, and you can see them all over my house. But those are some of the fun things I like to do when I have some free time.
What do you think are the 3 biggest issues facing our district right now?
It's tough to give you 3 because there are quite a few. Our district's quite large. We go from Cheboygan all the way through Iosco County. It's a 4.5 county area, and I've knocked on thousands of doors in all of the counties to introduce myself to people, but also to find out what their concerns are. And what I think the common goals and concerns are relate to our infrastructure. And that includes our issues with toxic pollutants and clean drinking water, which are very serious concerns throughout the district. And also the rising prescription costs and car insurance rates that we have. And then generally when I'm knocking on doors and people are saying they just want to have a better life and they want our government to help provide them with better resources and a affordable living. So those are the 3 major concerns that I see.
One of the issues facing our district, and that I think is in the back of a lot of people's minds, you've seen signs for it everywhere throughout the whole district, is the Line 5 pipeline. And there has been some new information, some new details about the state of Michigan and Enbridge proposing a tunnel system underneath the Straits of Mackinac that would be 100 feet below the Great Lakes bed, and they'd be able to continue running, some of these necessities that are needed down here in the lower part of Michigan, the lower peninsula, if you will. How do you think this will protect our Great Lakes? And first off, how do you feel about it?
My concern is that it was not well thought out, and it was rushed because we're headed into a lame duck session. and our current government wanted to control the outcome of Line 5. And I don't believe that it adequately protects our state. So what happens is right now, there's no promise of a tunnel. The first 3 to 4 years are all about investigating whether that's even a viable option. In the meantime, our oil continues to flow through the Pipeline 5 under very serious conditions. As we already know, it's 15 years beyond its lifespan already. It's already had some major issues and is lacking in proper supports. It has bends in it that are questionable, major problems. And so we're taking all of the risk, our state, our landowners, to see if there's going to be a tunnel in 4 years, and then how long does that take to build? We're looking at a minimum of 10 years or more of continued risks that we're taking with this pipeline. And it's not just the pipeline under the straits. It goes throughout the whole state of Michigan, and we're trusting Enbridge to be honest with us about what's going on when we had the Kalamazoo spill in 2010, and there were so many questions that arose after that, the fact that they weren't properly maintaining those lines and weren't and still aren't really communicating all of the issues to the state of Michigan so that we can oversee those issues. And finally, we're looking at building a tunnel for oil and gas for the next 99 years, when right now the goal is to look at alternative energies. So what are we going to do with a tunnel in 99 years that we own, that we're stuck with, that's crumbling, and Enbridge is gone because we're on to other energies, other sources of energy. So I just don't think it's well thought out. I don't think the agreement is strong enough to protect Michigan. We have Enbridge self-insuring in the event of a spill or risk. I don't think they should be self-insuring. There's no guarantee that they'll have those funds available for us if we do have a spill or damage that's maybe not as catastrophic as the worst case scenario, but it's still going to be very expensive to fix and repair. So I want to see a good solution. I don't think this is it. I believe it was rushed. I believe it was done in an effort to keep your new elected officials from taking action in January. And I think that's wrong.
Up next on Insights into Northeast Michigan, we continue our conversation with Lora Greene.